Hey, Grand Madam, you are the first to see my LL Cool Chiefs look. I told them I was gonna be hitting them with it. They wasn't ready. They were in the building. Theo, what's good, baby boy? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's happening? What's crack? Did you see my message? My Panther's supposed to arrive, I think, on the 23rd. So if you still wanna do that live unboxing, I'm right there with you, Playboy. We are the champions. We are the champions. Hey. Okay, 27. I just ordered mine yesterday, and you ain't getting yours to 27. Oh well, okay. Whenever you want to do it, man, just holla at your boy in them. Hey, these. I told her this is my LL Cool Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? This is my LL Cool Chiefs. I got my dookie. I got my fisherman's cap. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and it say world champions on the back. And this ain't this the world champion stuff from the other Super Bowl. This ain't the world champion stuff from this past Super Bowl. That's still on the way. So yeah, y'all got that coming. So yeah, at the end of this week, I might stop. Diabolical Nerd in the building was crack-a-lacking, was pumping. Dang, y'all came in here quick. Okay, I must. All right, okay, all right. It's good to be in a network. I must say, it's very good to be in a network. Hey, I picked up some cool stuff today, y'all. Grab the bag over here, grab the bag over here. I went to my local LCS and I picked up Bishop War College. Now, I might be tripping, but is those X-Men black? I ain't even read it yet. You know what I'm saying? Fresh out the bags. You know what I mean? So yeah. I am going back to KC for a visit. I have to visit every now and then and check up on the family. So yes, I am going back to KC. Y'all, don't be mad, y'all. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Jealousy is not a good look, and it's not good energy. Um, Also, of course, I had to get my photon in, pick up the photon so that if Chill want to do Photon Fridays, because we was doing that over on Chillmonger's page, having us some Photon Fridays. And this is what I got excited about. Wow. And if y'all know, and if y'all watched the video that I did, y'all know George Perez was like one of my all-time favorites. Him, Alex Ross, John Byrne. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If I had to pick three artists to draw my comics for the rest of the time, they'd probably be in the running. I'd be hard pressed to find somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And it's got DC stuff, it's got Marvel stuff, bruh. Crisis on Infinite Earths. Speaking of that, George Perez, man. I miss George Perez, y'all. Ain't no sense in me lying. Judas Contract. That's when Richard became Nightwing at first. George Perez, Wonder Woman, of course, the classic. Dude, I'm tempted to rip that page out of there and frame that. And I forgot, man, like back in the 80s, George Perez did Justice League too. old Superman and Justice Society. That's when they were so mixed up. It was like Justice League, Justice Society, Society League of America. They just, yeah, they were very interchangeable. Man, they sure are. Okay, I guess all the Marvel stuff's in the front. No, it ain't. Oh my Lord, that's all DC. My bad. Show you how much attention I was paying. I was just like, oh, George Perez, got to get it. Anyway, was catching up on your Last of Us review. Good stuff. Also sent my low man the Hellfighter history video you did. Oh, okay, Diabolical. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. Because you know why? I was saying yes, Grand Madam. George Perez was a visionary artist. I try to grab everything he's got, man. I celebrate his catalog. Period, man. Gone too soon, man. I wish he could have drew comics for another 62 years, because nobody crams characters on a page and make them look good like George Perez. We got a couple topics tonight, Ashura. I'm glad that you asked that. But I just want to get y'all in here so we can get y'all in here. Let's just go ahead and get started. Okay. First topic. How will Ant-Man do? Now, understand what I'm saying when I'm asking this question. I'm not asking this question because I'm excited for how Ant-Man will do or anticipating what Ant-Man will do, because if y'all been keeping up with me, I don't give two farts about the MCU. Hey, that rhyme. Bars. Anyway, to prove a point, and like I've also told y'all, I cover things for y'all entertainment, not because I'm excited or thrilled about it or want to see it. Ooh, I can already tell, bruh. I'm gonna be sweating in that. I ain't gonna be in here sweating like no Hebrew slave. No, sir. I love him, but I ain't dying for him. And I need to get up out of this too. Ooh, wait, that's my red dookie, bro. Let me get out of that. Okay. All right. Now I can get down to brass tacks now. Okay. Come on, your kids say 600 million tops. Now, do we think the low score on Rotten Tomatoes is going to impact that one way or another? Because they got like don't give me the line. I will give you the Rotten Tomatoes score. I know it was 50 something. Shit, it could be lower. But let's see. God dang. What? See, I put it. See, it. I don't know, is it just me, or are my thumbs getting bigger? Ruben, what's good, homie? What's good? What's good? What's good? Oh shit! It got a 6.6 out of 10. Oh my! Metascore of 50. Phil Jimenez, Ivan Reese, come close to GP. Yeah, D. Diesel, I agree. And Carlos Pacheco, also gone too soon. So 58 is what this says. Rotten Tomatoes score of 58. That is El Sucamundo. So, yeah. Now, what I've been hearing from a lot of people, a lot of hopeful people, a lot of hopeful casual fans, a lot of Marvel stands, casual fans, Marvel stands, more bars. Okay. That are hoping and praying that it does better than what it looks like it's about to do, and that the low performance of phase 4 was just a 2-3 year glitch and not a pattern. and they call pro T'Challa recasters delusional. How do your numbers take a effing nosedive for damn near 3 years, and that's just an isolated incident? Y'all help me understand, because from what I'm seeing, it ain't a vibe, it ain't an isolated incident, it's a trend. Happens one time, isolated incident. Happens 2 times, coincidence. Happens 3 times, that, ladies and gentlemen, is a pattern. And how many movies was it in phase 4 that underperformed or just flat out fucking sucked? See what I'm saying? So if you don't hear it nowhere else, remember you heard it here. If Marvel don't go back to catering to us, ain't no hope. Ain't no hope. Because I know that's right, Grand Madam. The USS MCU is sinking and it's taking on water quickly. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying that just because I'm like, hee ha ha, there y'all go. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying it because that's what's happening. You know what I mean? And ain't Disney in financial hot water right now? If y'all want the deets on that, man, go over to Marcus and Josh back at the bus. W's and L's, man. They broke that stuff down. They broke it down, and they broke it down more eloquently than I could. Okay, they put money in places basically that they weren't supposed to, and spent money they didn't have, banking on certain movies filled with a black cast to pull them out of their dire straits. And when that too underperformed, now they like, hey, anybody want to buy Hulu? What does Brother Malcolm say about chickens coming home to roost? Chickens coming home to roost never bothered me either. My family from Arkansas originally. They pig farmers, and sharecroppers, but you get the gist. There was some chickens walking around too. What we got here? I'm gonna try to keep these comments, fairly reeled in, because I know, man, it get out of hand once we start talking about some stuff. RT, yeah, okay. The feel sorry for the misspell. Hey, GM, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. Mixed reviews, even from the shills. That's right, D. Steezel. And you know why? Because if I made a movie about Hercules, one of my favorite Marvel characters, a lot of people don't know. If I made a movie about Hercules, not the Marvel Hercules or the comic Hercules, but mythological Hercules. If I made a movie about mythological Hercules and never, ever read the story of Hercules or knew anything about the 12 labors or any of that, and he's born, he choked out some snakes, you know what I'm saying? If I never knew any of that, and I just went off of the premise that Hercules lived in Thebes and he was a guy who was really strong, and I just decided to make a movie and put in there what I felt like putting in there, how do you think the rest of the civilized world that knows the story of Hercules and knows about the 12 labors is going to respond to my product? They don't have to. You know why? Because I'm going to do a bunch of marketing and I'm going to drop like 100, 200 mil to razzle dazzle their ass. And then when they get in the theater and watch that movie and go, oh, this is subpar. Too late. Got your money. That, in short, is what Marvel and Disney does now with movies. And the well ain't ran dry yet, but it's getting low. Now, Let me see. Those days of the MCU wanting comic fan support, but now want just the activist false virtue signaling crow. Yeah, because they're fickle and they ain't going to stick with you like somebody who been reading comic books 20, 30, 40 years is going to stick with you. And now when they asses are going broke, they finally starting to realize, oh my, we should have just catered to the fans. Damn, why did we go left? Because you're stupid. And you letting fools like Kevin Feige, who been around since those shitty X-Men movies, run everything. Oh, a little trivia fact. Didn't know that, did you? That Kevin Feige has been working for Marvel for quite some time, but look at the stuff he put out. Honestly, the X-Men movies. How many X-Men movies did y'all like? I mean, it was just like really like this was the greatest X-Men movie. This is what I wanted when an X-Men movie came on the screen. How many of them X-Men movies was like that for y'all? And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Them shits was a disappointment to me. The fight between Wolverine and Sabretooth in the first X-Men movie, trash. The fight between Wolverine and Lady Deathstrike in the second X-Men movie, trash. We gonna cram all the mutants into one movie and make the Juggernaut a mutant too and think don't nobody who reads comic books would notice that? It's been there for the longest time. And guess who's also been here for the longest time? Yeah, Kevin Feige. Now this fool's in charge. Just do a little research and connect some dots, man. It's really easy, especially if you got a mad on for it. I stated before, casuals fade, true fans will be there. Make films for the true fans. Oh, they about to course correct. They about to course correct, Kamoyo Kid. Trust me. Or if they that stupid and gonna be like, okay, we just gonna keep doing what we doing and don't see the current trend. Like I said, chickens coming home to roost never bothered me either. Disney's problem is they bought too much independent content to kill their competition. Yeah. How does that old saying go? Your reach exceeds your grasp. You see what I'm saying? So in long term, yeah, you banging out the bucks right now, but when everything, does that 180, how you going to be able to recoup? And now Disney is on the tail end of that, of, oh my God, I got to recoup. How am I going to do this? Yeah. Surprise. Now, I'm gonna get the rest of these. Samson and Hercules rub off each other because of the same story. What? Samson and Hercules are not even closely the same story. One got a kryptonite and the other one got a temper. One held up the earth, one knocked down some pillars. The only similarity I see between Samson and Hercules, Ashura, is that they're both strong. I don't get what's so hard for these comic book movies to just stay close to the source material. Hell, Thor, Love, and Thunder don't know what they were thinking, changing the look of Gore. What's so hard, Diabolical Nerd, is that they have made up their mind that they are going to make comic book based movies and not consult anybody in the comic book industry about it. They're going to open up a comic book, read a couple of pages and say, hey, I know what to do with that. And then go all the way left with it. And that's what's been happening since mid-phase 2. That's how long it's been going on. I've been doing some researching and I'm getting ready to do a real quick comparison here in a second, but you'll see what I'm talking about when I get up on it. I mean, in stories are strong white men. Yeah, I guess you could. technically Samson is Jewish. Who would pick to replace Kevin Feige? Logan was the better X-Men movie. Yeah, the last one they made. They figured it out with the last movie they made. Got it. Okay. So if the last movie you made hit the mark, that means you could have did it before with, and I ain't gonna lie, Days of Future Past was, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And X-Men First Class was, yeah, but that Apocalypse, trash. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much every other X-Men movie except Logan. And that's messed up that you got to ride that Wolverine coattail just to get a decent product out. Yes, Dee Diesel, I agree. Meh or trash. Yes, us hard. That's right, Dee Diesel. We are the ones that made Phase 1 the success that it was, and they forgot that. Okay, because mid Phase 2, I say Ant-Man. Because that's about the point where it's just like, all right, this is just fucking ridiculous. Okay, Ant-Man, are you serious? And then you're gonna go with the Scott Lang Ant-Man. Why? And me and you talked about that, Dee Diesel. It was a horrible idea to age up Hank and Janet Penn. You know what I'm saying? And you worried about how people gonna construe his issues with him hitting his wife. It's gonna draw attention to the movie, dummies. You want that in there. You want the mental issues in there with Hank tripping and bugging out. It's gonna make for a better story. But they didn't see that. Oh, people are just gonna see abuse. Oh. Gotta trust your audience, man. We fans of the comic books. We gonna understand. We the ones going to see the movie, or were. Who the heck asked for Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, and not Marvel? Gender swap nonsense and race switch. Well, they gender swapped in the comics long before she made it to the movies, but I get what you're saying. Byron Smith, what's good, man? I was waiting for you before I dropped this jewel. But right now we just kind of talking about Disney dollars and the how Marvel stopped catering to fans and started catering to casuals, say mid Phase 2. Logan was the least X-Men movie. Christopher Judge should have been Apocalypse. Anybody but freaking Oscar Isaac, Kamoyo Kid. That was just a garbage decision. Thor 4 was garbage. Instead of bringing 3 Thors from 3 different timelines who have dealt with Gore, why replace them with Lady Thor and Valkyrie? Because they don't read comic books. They look at them. That's the best thing I can figure out. You glean and got a cursory idea of how this character and this storyline works, and then you just wing the rest of the movie. Terrible idea. Terrible idea. Okie doke. Yes, Christopher Judge has a great voice. I enjoyed him thoroughly on Avengers as Black Panther. Jose Gomez, what's up? Hope to get variants of the Avengers that got killed by Kang and okay, slow down. Stop spoiling stuff. Let people see the movie before you start talking about it. It's official. Bryan Singer, Zack Snyder, Nate Moore, and Ryan Coogler need to be banned from all things comic book and throw in Feige too. For the most part. But Diabolical Nerd, I'm a solutions kind of guy. Who do you recommend to replace those people? Okay. They only look at the source material for design ideas, not storylines. I agree. I haven't seen Ant-Man 3. I was just saying my hopes. Oh, okay. I ain't seen it either, so I didn't know. Okay. I will not pay money to see it. I'll just leave that like that. Okay. Yeah, like dang, how much Chiefs gear do you have on, D? This is it. This is the last layer. Chiefs Kingdom. Feige putting raisins in the MCU potato salad. Yes, he is. Hey, now that I got 20 people up in here, here is the question of the hour. In retrospect, and let's consider all factors. How good was Black Panther 1? Really? How good was Black Panther 1? And now think before you open up your mouth and start answering, because I'm about to give you a revelation and you're going to be like, oh my God, D, you're right. But just, I give you a couple seconds. I give you a couple seconds to marinate on it and let it drop down into your soul. How good? Now understand what I'm asking. I'm not asking how good was Chadwick Boseman in Black Panther. That's not the question. The question, how good overall was Black Panther 1 really? It made a Bill 3. I get that. But just there's a method to my madness. Understand. Where we at now? Am I having hot flashes? No, I ain't having hot flashes, but that's a winter jacket. And I'm inside. So, no, we're not going to have that on for an hour. I'll be sweating like a Hebrew slave up in this piece, Grandmaster. Justin Lawrence, howdy. Justin Lawrence said a 7.5 or 8 out of 10. Okay. Ashura says it's an okay movie. Byron says it was a 7 out of 10 for me, honestly. I was one of the few that came out and was like, that was cool. Cornelia says 7 out of 10. Nico Bean, that ship sailed after I found out they cut out key royal family characters. Okay. Kamoyo Kid, T'Challa was the best thing about it. Otherwise, the film was mid-level plot hole machine. Zoltar the Magnificent says it was a 9.5 out of 10. Ashura said it was an okay movie because Disney would let BP wouldn't let BP be comic book accurate. Shavante Shears says about 7.5. Diabolical Nerd say BP1 was decent. We didn't get a real BP. They nerfed his intellect, martial arts, and wealth. Diabolical Nerds where I'm at, and I'm gonna get y'all there in a second. It was okay, but after reading the comics, I could see how much the character was watered down. I give it an 8, says Grandma. Okay, when I first saw BP1, I gave it A tier. It's B tier at best now. Grade 8. It would have been higher if the plot was focused on T'Challa. Okay. LOL. It's still A tier to me. All right. Let's talk about some of the parallels that Black Panther 1 and Black Panther Wakanda, whatever. Yeah, that's what we're going to call it. Share. Okay. In the first Black Panther, I can see in the comments that we all agree the titular character was watered down. Very, very watered down. Now, if you ask me, T'Challa's appearance in Captain America Civil War was better than his appearance in his own movie. Now, who got more attention in the first Black Panther movie? Did T'Challa get more attention than Dora Milaje, than Nakia, than Shuri? Hell, than Killmonger. Everybody walked out of that first Black Panther movie talking about who? Okay. Now, never before in the history of cinema has there been an event like Black Panther. Like I've told y'all before, if y'all heard me talk before, I was invited to speak at the premiere of Black Panther because people in this city know my knowledge about Black Panther. And I gave a little ditty at the beginning and I called it Black Panther 101. And was telling people about Wakanda, telling people about T'Challa, the comic book version. So when we watched that movie and people were hearkening back to the words that I said with regards to T'Challa, some people said they didn't see all of that. And at first, I was offended. But then I went back and I thought about it. Okay, I am telling them about a regal king who everybody follows without question. The Dora Milaje follow him without question. The War Dogs follow him without question. His sister follows him, well, mostly without question. Everybody follows T'Challa without question. Everybody and they mama in that movie question T'Challa, question his judgment, question his knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that we, the fans, did not 100% get the T'Challa we wanted to see, why should we be shocked at what happened in Wakanda Forever? $1 billion movie, first time ever happened. Emotions are high. From an emotional point, like, oh my God, I can't believe that. Black people, Africa, yay, yay, Wakanda, woo, hee. When you watch Black Panther, if you still watch Black Panther, do you have the same emotion? Because there are certain movies that I watch, and I feel the same way about them every time I watch them. You could call me crazy, but every time I watch Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, I get excited. Every time I watch Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, I get excited. Not so much with Return of the Jedi. Emotion? Is there an emotional component in that? Does Disney realize what that emotional component is? And did they use that emotional component to fuck with us and make us feel a certain way about that movie that we really probably shouldn't have been feeling? I mean, I don't want to sound ungrateful. I did watch the movie and said, okay, all right, Black Panther, yay. But do movies like that stand the test of time? Am I going to look back in 20 years at Black Panther and say it's still $1.3 billion worth? Or will there be another version of Black Panther in 20 years? Will there? Will they make another Black Panther? Me personally, I feel like, man, the MCU should just blow up right now and just be gone. Let me back up. Y'all went crazy. Ruben says 8.5 out of 10. Zoltar said he wanted more on T'Challa in later parts. Ashura said Chadwick and Jordan were the good things of the movie, but T'Challa was sidelined for side characters and took all of the characteristics to Shuri and the Dora. How come don't nobody else see that? because we like, oh, we got to settle and be happy with this because they can't give us a better version, or if we make too much noise, they ain't never going to give us another version again. F that. Make noise. Tell them how you felt. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I know Mr. Smith ain't in here, but Mr. Smith is one bit that's big on, okay, write a letter to Marvel, write an email to Marvel, tell them how you feel. It matters. It really does. Avengers 1, Iron Man 1, Captain America, The Winter Soldier, Captain America, Civil War, Incredible Hulk are my top favorites. Okay. Justin Lawrence, 100%. 100% what? Zoltar the Magnificent, he should have had the mastermind Avengers countermeasures energy in his own movie. Zoltar, I agree. There was none of that. And even as an introductory story to T'Challa, why couldn't he have that cunning? Why couldn't he have that intellect? Why couldn't he have that? I mean, in his debut in Fantastic Four, all we saw was cunning, stealth, intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Strategy. And even in the end, when it got the better of him, honor. Thanks to Chadwick Boseman's performance, some of those qualities transferred over, but other ones weren't even considered because we want to let Shuri get shine. We want to let Okoye get shine, just like somebody said in the comments. T'Challa was being phased out slowly. Yeah. When you look at it now, Captain America Civil War was T'Challa's apex. And to me, his performance in Black Panther is like this, and his performance in his own movie was like, kind of like, it was starting to take a dip, because I'm like, how you come out that ferocious in Civil War, and then you just tame down, and you ain't ferocious no more in your own movie? We can't have this character be too great. Goodness gracious. People will want to see more Black characters. Shouts out to Chillmonger. They made T'Challa MLK, but everyone like Killmonger, Malcolm X persona. It was Jordan all day long. Well, you know what? In that aspect, Darth Vader outshines Luke Skywalker. I mean, because that's a villain. Show me a villain that is more dastardly and simultaneously as cool as Lord Vader. He's that movie villain. I mean, maybe the possible exception might be somebody's portrayal of Dracula. Other than that, I don't see a villain that's fucking with Darth Vader. So much in that same way, you want a villain that stands out, but you don't want a villain that just the movie's all about him. You know what I'm saying? The movie wasn't called Killmonger. So yeah, I feel you, at least in that aspect. Killmonger got most of the attention, but I only have eyes for T'Challa. Oh, Grand Madam, you're a loyal one. Appreciate you. And I'm sure T'Challa would appreciate that too. Anyway, I dig the opening BP1 jungle action scene. Very comic booky. Yeah. You using stealth. You know what I'm saying? But ironically, in the Wild Kingdom, Black Panthers do not use stealth. They blend, but stealth isn't their main weapon. I mean, they stalk, but they ain't hiding in the darkness like you would think a Black Panther would hide in the darkness. The movie was centered around Killmonger, and the sequel did a deep dive into Namor as well. BP1 car chase was also good. Yes, it was. The sequel should have corrected the mistakes of the first film. I agree. Not make more mistakes. BP2 was deadpan. Now, I'm not saying BP1 was worse than BP2. Don't get that twisted. BP2 was by far the bottom of the pit. You know what I'm saying? But from Civil War to Black Panther, it was obvious there was a plunge. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't play T'Challa the same way in Black Panther as they played him in Civil War. And I don't mean about no angry son that wants revenge. He was more like T'Challa, in my opinion, in Civil War than he was in Black Panther. Civil War T'Challa is still my favorite performance. Gray knows. What up, Gray? Dre Max Show. What's up, my brother? Chiefs Kingdom, baby. Chiefs. Hey, I was out to dinner last night, and I was wearing my Chiefs gear, Dre, and this dude, one of the servers rolled up on me and was like, "Yeah, Chiefs." He like, "Yeah, they shot them birds out of the sky." I was like, "Dang, why you gotta be like that? I ain't coming here to brag or talk smack. I just came in here to say we champions." You know what I mean? I love the first film for what it was, but can't help to think about how much better it could have been. Yes, Justin, I agree wholeheartedly. Definitely not a Marvel stand after how they went anti-recast. Nah, because the way it seems is like Disney is banking on fans being blind and you know, less discerning than casuals or like casuals are. But we don't go to movies to just be giddy. We want to see how that movie stacks up to the comic books that we've collected for years and years and years and love so much. And it doesn't stack up. You know, a lot of the movies don't stack up. I mean, Iron Man stuck to the source material. You said what you want to say about Iron Man, but find me a Marvel movie that's running tighter on as far as origin and all of that. I mean, the update from Vietnam to the Middle East, okay, but other than that, did he not make that armor when he was in captivity? Was that armor not just like the armor in Tales of Suspense? You know what I'm saying? It ain't that. Oh, Jon Favreau was on that project. That's why Iron Man was the shit, because Jon Favreau is a comic book fan. Maybe we can persuade Jon Favreau to come back and give him Kevin Feige's job. I guarantee you, if Jon Favreau, what movie has Jon Favreau made that sucked? Jon Favreau makes some good ass movies, period. You know what I'm saying? Well, didn't he do I Love You, Man? That's a slept on movie. I Love You, Man is a slept on movie with Paul Rudd and old boy from How I Met Your Mother. Elf. Jon Favreau know how to make a movie. All I'm saying. You might want to hit him up if you want somebody that's going to do comic book movies right. Romeo, you just saw this movie. If the sequel sucked, I would have had a hard time on repeat viewings. The first Avenger was meh. I think somebody summed it up best. It was good, but not as good as it could have been. For me, he didn't throw his shield enough. And that's a lame reason to downgrade it a little bit. But I mean, what he threw his shield like what in 2 scenes, 3 scenes? Man, he should have been slinging that bitch all day. You know what I'm saying? Banking it off of stuff, and I wanted to see that. You know what I mean? But hey, that shield defies the laws of physics, says Peter Parker. They spent a ton of time trying to put emotional lines to try to get people attached, invested in this movie. I love seeing Black women empowered, but not when it comes at the cost of men. And both movies were that way, Romeo. Okay. Black women were empowered at the cost of Black men. I ain't no misogynist nothing. Okay. Before anybody fix their mouth to say some old stuff like that. I just want equal representation. If you didn't let the Dora Milaje shine, I would have been pissed about that too. Because the Dora Milaje are entire beasts in the comics. So, and especially after Io in that scene in Captain America Civil War, y'all had to deliver. She gonna run up on Black Widow and be like, move or you will be moved. And I was like, yeah, this gonna be good. She gonna kick them heels off and get in Natasha's ass. Because they fought in the comics, and Natasha was like, these heifers good. You know what I mean? So anyway, I will always look back. Ronnie, what you say, homie? You say you will always look back at Black Panther 2018 finally because it's my favorite MCU movie and it gave me my favorite superhero in T'Challa. Ronnie, what is your first experience with T'Challa the Black Panther? Was it Captain America Civil War or was it before then? Drop that in the chat. They tried to give everyone shine. Should have focused primarily on T'Challa, Eric, and Claw. They got a problem with villain killing. They need to stop that. Why can't villains be incarcerated or imprisoned or, you know what I'm saying? It's just like they got to die. Why they got to die? Why do they always die? They don't always die in the comics. And even when they do die in the comics, they come back. You know? Ain't nobody but Loki came back so far. And then I don't even think it was actually a comeback. So, Nico Bean, BP2 was disrespectful ASF to the Boss Man family, and I'm wondering why they haven't sued Marvel yet. Because it's their IP? I don't know. Or are you talking about yeah. I don't know what Chadwick Boseman did or didn't sign. So I can't say what would or would be infringement from a legal standpoint. You see what I'm saying? Maybe they had the legal right to show Chadwick Boseman's image in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but it was morally fucked up. I agree. You know, so maybe that's why we haven't seen any kind of legal proceedings come out of it. Justin said Killmonger should have been introduced in the second or third film. Claw should have been the main focus of the first film. Comic book fans know that shit right there. Okay, that was the first villain that Black Panther ever faced. So, yeah. Ball drop. That's what I'm saying. By the time Black Panther was out, they were already on F the fans. You know what I'm saying? They were on F the fans, in my opinion, when Ant-Man dropped. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I'm sitting in a room and we formulating stuff, trying to plan things and make a movie, and I go, hey, Kevin, let's do Ant-Man. What? Ant-Man? Trust me. Hear me out. We ain't gonna do that Hank Pym thing, because he beats his wife, and we don't want to get all into that. Let's do the thief Ant-Man. He's a criminal. That's worse. So we could show his redemption arc. You couldn't show a redemption arc for Hank Pym? He learned his lesson after Tony Stark or Steve Rogers ends up boning his wife. He don't learn his lesson then? Or do we show an even worse message with that? But hey, that's source material. When she left her husband in the 1610 universe, she linked up with Cap. When her husband went to jail in the 616, she linked up with Tony Stark. It's canon. You want to be pissed off about it? Be pissed off at Roger Stern because he's the one who did the story back in the 80s. But Marvel is always known for injecting real life into their story, real life elements, real life occurrences. But Disney got to keep that squeaky clean image. We don't want to sully our characters potentially. But if your characters are human beings, that means they have built-in flaws. That's what made Marvel superheroes so great. They were flawed. And you overcompensated with T'Challa. He had too many flaws. So, might want to read a comic next time. Yes, shot the birds. That's what Buddy said, Dre. Hope to get John David Washington as T'Challa in Secret Wars. I just hope to get it T'Challa. If we get it T'Challa, you know what I'm saying? Some people will come back. BP2 was a bummer fest. I agree, Zoltan. Killing the Queen was whack. I agree again. Because now let me see if I'm taking count. Killmonger, dead. Ramonda, dead. Claw, dead. Zuri, dead. W'Kabi, in prison. And of course, T'Challa's dead. Who the f is left? You murdering off everybody in Wakanda. How many people from Iron Man storyline are dead? I think the only person that's had more people in their life die is Thor. And Thor don't have near as many dead people in his life gone as T'Challa do. Black people are used to people in their lives dying. They're resilient. They'll bounce back. Professor, what's up? Professor say I feel the same. Civil War. T'Challa was focused and motivated. Yes. John does his thing. Talking about John David Washington. I love the 2014 film, Chef. The chefs took money out my pocket. Ruben, if you've been watching the Chiefs, you wouldn't have made that bet, brother. Okay. We won 80% of our games in the regular season by one score or less. That's why I wasn't freaking out at the first half, because this is what they've been doing all season. And you had a long ass halftime show, so Pat had time to rest. Next time, don't bet against us. D-Real agreed on the shield throwing and not enough acrobatics. Shit, no acrobatics. Cap, I don't think Cap did one flip in that movie. I want Kevin Feige's job. Don't we all? Oh, what a wonderful place the Marvel Universe would be if folks like us were in charge. Diabolical Nerd, you right. I think it was phase 2 when they started going away from the element of the source. I know Hank Pym created Ultron, and High Evolutionary gave Adam Warlock the Soul Stone, not Vision. Not hard, man. Just read a comic book. Why couldn't he just have a jewel on his head that was solar powered like it is in the comics? Read, open it up and read. So easy. Or you could have made it vibranium too. Anything. Oh, give me Soul Stone. Master of Sound Claw. Unfortunately, we will never know about the Sultan of Sound because they thought it was a great idea to kill him like they kill everybody else. I guess their thought process is there's plenty of villains out there. Go on and kill those guys. We'll pull up some other ones. And my biggest beef, why does everything have to go universal? Why does it have to be a universal threat? There are plenty of local threats and plenty of city threats in the Marvel universe that could have been depicted in movies instead of going straight to Thanos. Thanos should have been the buildup. He shouldn't have been, okay, this is it. You could have used Thanos in like phase 5. You know what I mean? You got mugs like Graviton. Graviton is a planetary threat. He controls a fundamental force. How the hell is that not a threat to every single person on Earth, not to mention the Avengers? In his debut, he washed a squad of Avengers that included Thor, Iron Man, Wonder Man, and Scarlet Witch. But we got to go universal. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. If they wanted to, I wouldn't have been pissed off at all if they had to follow the menu of Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Earth's Mightiest Heroes is a banging animated version of Avengers, and it follows the source material way closer than the MCU ever did. So, yeah. Anyway, they spent $500 million to make and market this film without T'Challa when they should have gotten a new actor for 15 to 20 mil and they would have made the money they were going to make. But Avatar 2 got that. Facts. That's where all their special effects went to. Janet got around and Hank was with Tiger for a hot minute. Source material, Diesel. People cheat on their wives in real life. People break up with their wives and get with their coworkers or other people. That happens in real life. Do what you're supposed to do, Marvel. But you got these casual lovers out here making movies thinking, oh, there's where the money is. Dummy. Captain America, the Winter Soldier was dope. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 was okay-ish. Age of Ultron was man. Ant-Man was man. I agree with that. T'Challa needs to be buff. Wakanda, a hot mess in the MCU. Yeah. M'Baku's the last man standing. Literally, Diesel. Edward Stewart, what's up? The heart-shaped herb. The heart-shaped herps. I know what you meant, though. The heart-shaped herb destroyed in the first film. Except for the one Nakia had. Why didn't you grab a couple more? Just should have been like, and you could grow some more. Feige was hyping up Ant-Man 3 like his job was dependent on it. Yeah, because when I was done with Ant-Man, I was like, what was that shit? You know what I'm saying? I mean, and then you did that thing with Yellow Jacket, and I'm like, who the hell is that? That's not Yellow Jacket. They should read comics. I agree. Claw should have been the main villain. He and Eric got history, though, so I would have had Eric in a small side role. Walter Wilder. What's happening? These Chiefs. Hey, y'all. Look here. I want to shift gears because we like an hour in, because it's a conversation I want to get into because I'm deadly serious about it. Black representation and history. Okay. I agree, Gray. I agree. Only the real T'Challa can say the franchise. But black representation, black history. Let's shift gears. I'm gonna get ready to go. I'm getting ready to go somewhere else. Okay. I have been doing a segment on my page that I call Black History Moments. And I got the revelation. Well, I've always had the revelation, but it just dawned on me for my show. Black history cannot be encompassed in 28 days. So why should I attempt to encompass Black history in a mere 28 days? So I'm going to make it a regular segment. Now, here's the thing. I did a video last night about the Harlem Hellfighters. Somebody actually told me they had not heard of the Harlem Hellfighters. And then it dawned on me. How many more people don't know who the Harlem Hellfighters were? I mean, they're less popular than the Tuskegee Airmen, but I feel like their contribution and what they had to suffer through was no less significant. It's backwards to y'all, but the Harlem Hellfighters. This is a graphic novel. Based on true events. The 369th Infantry Regiment, known as the Harlem Hellfighters, were in the trenches in World War II longer than any other infantry in the military. They were also the first to cross the Rhine River into Germany and kick German ass. Okay? The Germans feared the Harlem Hellfighters and thought that they were superhuman because of some of the things they'd done. 2 Harlem Hellfighters held off 30 German soldiers while sustaining damages. And when they ran out of bullets, they threw grenades. Gangster. They received their flowers, but the problem I had, these thieves who say the phrase, don't tread on me, is everywhere. But goddamn, let's go, ain't. That was also one of the Harlem Hellfighters mottos. That's way more gangster than don't tread on me. Goddamn, let's go. You know? And I feel like that's the kind of energy you got to have, especially when you're in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? Where life expectancy is something like 10%. We talking about trenches where it's like, it's fire. But the thing that tripped me out the most was how the Harlem Hellfighters, the 369th Infantry's own fellow soldiers, who were that color, didn't want to fight beside them, refused to fight beside them. The U.S. Army made the 369th attach themselves to the French Army. And the French Army didn't have no problem. If we're all going somewhere where we're potentially going to die, and the life expectancy is 10% or less, what in the shit should I care about what color the person next to me is? They got just as much chance of dying as I do. So what does it matter? That, to me, is just a vivid illustration of how ignorant racism is as a concept, as a thought process. You telling me you'd rather die with white people than die with black people? What difference does it make? Dying's dying, right? Gray said, I saw that segment you did on the 369th. Great video. Appreciate it. I got more coming. I also did one. I don't think not a lot of people know who Pap Singleton is. So go back and check that out. When we talk about underground railroads and getting people out, yeah, Harry Tubman, but check out Pap Singleton. You know what I'm saying? Bruh, it's a lot of untold stories out there about us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a gang. You know, and I'm gonna try to bring y'all as many of them as I can, because I feel like that need to be told, especially with this fool in Florida trying to squash everything black and historical and trying to rewrite it and revise it and change it. I saw a textbook that said the Africans in the transatlantic slave trade came over to work. The fuck? No, we didn't want to come over at all. Yes, and if we don't pay attention, that's gonna get smoothed over, because they already trying to push that on our children. He who controls the history controls the narrative. Do we want people who are lying about our legacy to control the destiny of it? Think about it. You got people out here that just flat out getting ready to tell lies. That's why they fighting CRT so hard. That's why they so mad that it's people out here like me and other folks out here on social media trying to, tell some truth. And that's what I try to stand on, the truth, because when you take everything away and the truth is all that's left, what else is there? Gray, I'm on it. Trust and believe. Robert Smalls is definitely on the list. I actually have been in contact with Robert Smalls' ancestors in the Carolinas. And they actually, let me shut up. Let me just say, a Robert Smalls movie is a real possibility. Bruh, how many black celebrities we got in Florida? How many HBCU presidents? Bruh, I'm down here. You're angrier than they are. Wow. You know what that whenever I hear stuff like that, you know what I'm reminded of? Now, you can say what you want to say about the Star Wars prequels, but I think it was Revenge of the Sith, and there's a line in that movie that Padme says, and she says, "So this is how democracy dies," to thunderous applause. That part right there. Yes, Gray. And I think about that when I hear like stuff like that. Like, man, they don't care. They just letting that shit slide. And it's just like, you ain't gonna have no history. Ain't nobody gonna remember who or what you are. I guess that's that John Ridley N-word manifesto, kicking in tough, and they swallowing the Kool-Aid like they in Guyana. Kamayo Kid said, not all of us left the plantation. Sadly, the truth. Sadly, the damn truth. These things will say, I say Antoine Fuqua is the best candidate for that story. He knows and respects military history. That might be. I might have to reach out to Antoine Fuqua nah, Antoine Fuqua. We're gonna see what's going on with him. Yeah, definitely. But Antoine Fuqua and John David Washington. I'd be there for that, Gray. I'd be there for that. Now, fam, Theo said, fam, you done heard more Florida blacks speak on Ed Reed and Bethune-Cookman than Ron DeSantis or Ron DeSuckus, as I affectionately call him. Hey, what we always say, you want to hide something from black folks? I had a cousin that didn't even know like that her mama was saving money for her and she was putting it in a book, and she never knew because she never picked up the book and looked at it. She would have knew. I mean, she got it eventually, but it's just like, dang, that book, she just been stacking cash. It's all up in this book, and you just now open that bitch and seen the money was in there. You need to read more. You know what I'm saying? Y'all always talking about me reading comics. You're a nerd. You're a nerd. You're a nerd, girl. You're a nerd. Yeah, but I bet if it was some money in a comic book, I'd have smooth found it. I would have smooth found it. Okay? Because I opens up books. You know what I'm saying? I got some Octavia Butler downstairs. Okay. Okay. I read. You know what I'm saying? So do what y'all want to do. But my thing, okay, I think we done dug off in some chest real good tonight, but I want to talk about black representation real quick. Okay. And here's the real quick thing. Just like we've been talking about right here in the chat, say something, make your opinion known. I have seen things change because people simply got together and said, hey, I don't like this. Do something different. But if it was some Gucci, we'd be chasing the hell out of it and we wouldn't be asking no questions. If it was some Nike, we'd be chasing it down, wouldn't ask no questions, standing in lines around a damn corner just to get the newest Jordans. But that's more important than our well-being. That's more important than us controlling our destiny. Oh, I got the new J's. Really? You're in J's, but your mind is still in bondage. That's the new slavery. Oh, that's also a book too. Pick up a book and read that. You know what I'm saying? That's the new slavery. Okay. We are enslaved to retail. That's what we enslaved to. We got to have the best this. We got to have the finest that. Mug live in a 2-bedroom apartment driving a damn Benz. What? Your car note is more than your rent? But I look good, poor. Let me go ahead and represent the representation. Why did Kang have to be black? I'm not mad at it, but because, I mean, for the most part, Kang's ethnicity was ambiguous. But why do we choose to make Kang black? Why are we choosing to make Wonder Man black? If y'all have not seen Chillmonger's video about black representation, bruh, y'all need to get on that. My dude is so on point with it. He is so effing on point with it. And it's like, let me get to these comments because I think somebody's getting ready to drop a jewel in here. Episode 8 of The Bad Batch had Palpatine announcing Imperial stormtroopers replacing the clone army, and the Senate was cool with it. Gray, if we don't know our history, it can be used against us. That's the reason we grew up on the Lone Ranger instead of Bass Reeves. Did a video on it? Like to hear it? I will. You know what I'm gonna start doing? Because just like that, I hear people all the time talking about subjects and things that I done did videos on. So I'm just gonna put a introduction, like I did with this last with the Loves of T'Challa. I'm just gonna put an introduction on that mug and go, now you can watch it. Cause I've been dropping these jewels for years, man. And it's like ain't nobody checking for it. But now they like, ooh, we need the blood, the blood, the blood, the blood. I did a video on that in 21. You know what I'm saying? And here it is, 23. The same shit I was talking about in 21 coming right back around like a damn boomerang. And it's like, why y'all acting brand new? That was going on a while ago. What y'all want me to do about it? As Marcus from Back of the Bus said, it's a race swap hamster wheel. Yikes. I try to share as much as I can. And keep sharing, kid. I see you on Twitter. Keep sharing. Keep dropping them little jewels. Keep dropping them little factoids. Keep telling people, because once that dam is filled with facts, knowledge, information overflowing, it's going to burst and splash all over them. I was going to say skeet, 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 but that wouldn't be appropriate. We don't want nobody skeeting facts on us. I wouldn't say a million vids, D, but I'm a busy fella. I'm cranking out. Well, I don't know. I done kind of got to the point now where it's like all of this stuff people saying, why do I need to reinvent the wheel? The way I said it the first time was super eloquent and concise. So, well, I don't know about eloquent, but it was concise. Why do I need to make a new video? I just, everybody's regurgitating facts on social media anyway. So I'd rather regurgitate my own facts than somebody else's. Can't say nobody said it but me. Grace said it. It's not going to hit folks until they cast a brother as Kazar. And you know what, Gray? I bet black folks would be mad at that if they casted a brother as Kazar. Why you got to be running around in a loincloth? Why you got to be the Lord of the Jungle? That's racist. That's probably what you would get, Gray, if we're being honest. Diesel. He's been following since them Hanna-Barbera shared universe discussions. Respect, brother. Respect. Okay, that ain't just you ain't just whistling Dixie, sir. You name dropped. Or salute, my dude. Everybody need to be like D Diesel. Damn it. I'm playing. You can be how you want to be, but you should be like D Diesel. Hey, this energy right here, this is, you know what I'm saying? And Theo will tell you, man, this right here, what we're doing, for me, this is cathartic. Okay? Me watching a bunch of motherfuckers cry about some shit that I didn't even ask for, that's not cathartic. You know what I mean? And anybody who's dumb enough to believe that is cathartic might need to drop squad them. Anyway, most benevolent king. Greetings and salutations, my dude. The trend is going to continue until we make it known. Fool, it's a bunch of black superheroes out here. Why can't you use one of them? Why? Why do we need a black Wonder Man? Give me one good reason why we need a black Wonder Man or a black Superman for that matter. Because here's the argument. If what you are doing, you're simply doing for shock value, it ain't gonna last. You just throwing this cat in here and you're not. Here's what need to happen. Make Simon Williams black in the comic book. If you're going to do all of that, make Simon Williams black from the rip and keep him that way. Don't just make him black as a novelty item. Don't just make him black to look woke. If you really calling yourself trying to diversify and populate your universe with black characters, we can name a gang of black characters in the chat right now that could be in your universe. You know what I'm saying? They need to make nobody. You got Moses Magnum. That's a villain. Black villain, been around since the 70s. Nobody using them. You know what I'm saying? Apocalypse is from Egypt. Don't get a Latino guy to play him. And you have any number of black mutants. Why are we fooling around with race swapping? Why? I do not understand that for the life of me. Does anybody remember in the New Warriors, when the New Warriors comic book first came out, Mark Bagley was doing it, and they did this story, I think it was called Forever Yesterday, and the female version of the Sphinx had took reality and switched it all around, and all of the major Africa was actually Assyria was the cradle of civilization, and so everybody who's normally a white character was black. You know what I'm saying? You had a black Reed Richards, you had a black Human Torch, you had a black Captain America. Matter of fact, he was called Captain Assyria, and I did a video on Captain Assyria. But that's what they're doing right now. They're giving us Forever Yesterday in the MCU. Because I remember when I first picked them books up, and because it was a 3-part story arc. That's rare nowadays, resolving a story in 3 comics. You open it up and it's like, okay, these Avengers come out. You know what I'm saying? Tony Stark take his helmet off. Tony Stark black. You know what I'm saying? And I think the only white superhero on the team was Nova. So everybody else was black. Instead of Thor, you had Horus. You know what I'm saying? Bruh. I'm like, but see, temporary. It was temporary. And they fried Wolverine's ass down to the skeleton. I enjoyed that because Wolverine, folks that like Wolverine just be like, Wolverine can beat up anybody. Wolverine can beat up Galactus. I like that they fried his ass in the beginning of the story. So we didn't have to see him no more and be like, well, why ain't Wolverine a factor? Because he got fried down to the adamantium skeleton. That's why. But that's what they're doing to us. They're forever yesterdaying us. You know what I'm saying? And saying, hey, look at this. Look, Kang's black. Kang ain't gonna be black in the comics. You want to make somebody black. You want to make somebody black. Make Galactus black. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, don't people perceive Galactus as they visually perceive him and not how he is? So, depending on what civilization you're from, depending on what you believe, Galactus might be a giant spaghetti monster. Galactus might be green. Galactus might be a Skrull. Galactus might be Sakaran. Why couldn't Galactus be black? That I would accept. Why? Because he's a powerful, powerful being, more powerful than most. And seeing black people in a position like that makes other folks nervous. Let me catch up on these here comments. Facts. Bro, that would be too much like right in a land where up is down. Last hero they made black from white disappeared in the comics. Nick Fury. Yeah, because Nick Fury in the MCU is a factor and a fixture. Before there was an MCU, there was a black Nick Fury. Okay? They have since gotten rid of that universe, but they see the popularity of that character. Wonder Man ain't about to get near that popular. Kang, while being one of the big bads, I do not think is going to become as popular as a Thanos. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? I would love to eat these statements, but I don't feel like Kang getting ready to be that dude. Kang Gang gonna go somewhere. You ain't gonna be hearing nothing about Kang Gang in a little while. Trust me. Diabolical Nerd said they could have gotten the brother from Star Trek that does the voice of Kratos on the new God of War to play Apocalypse. You're talking about Christopher Judge, Diabolical Nerd. Yes. These will say not a fan of the Black High Evolutionary either. Herbert Edgar Wyndham. Who's Herbert Edgar Wyndham? That's the government name for the High Evolutionary. Herbert Edgar Wyndham. That don't sound like no brother to me. But neither does Chadwick Boseman. So what do I know? Walter Wilder said reviews of comics and the culture of the times like Captain America 143, Power to the People. Ooh, look at you. Thor 311, Crisis in the Inner City, and All-Star Squadron number 40, Race Riots in Detroit. Walter Wilder, you are an OG, sir, because only an OG would know stuff like that. Those are 15-cent comics. Those are 25-cent comics. Come on, your kids say Gablactus. Gablactus. I like that. Edward Stewart, you know, we never had a Black Western series, but yet we had a bunch of shows like Gunsmoke, Bonanza, Rifleman, and Lawman, Big Valley. Why not now? That's a very good question. The Harder They Fall and Posse are the only two movies I know that really showcase cowboys, black cowboys, in a major way. Bucking the Preacher, but Bucking the Preacher, there wasn't a bunch of black folks in. Well, not like how The Harder They Fall and Posse was. Logan literally got nuked in Civil War. I remember that. Interesting what you said. The Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan, Black, LOL. We only got one season. You know why, Diabolical Nerd, don't you? Watchmen is universal powered. Watch Dr. Manhattan has the power to alter reality. White folks feel that that's not a power that a black man should have. Otherwise, we'd have got a season 2 of Watchmen. Most Benevolent King said, this man is making too much sense. Protect him at all costs. Doesn't the High Evolutionary wear a mask? No, Kamoyo Kid. The High Evolutionary wears a helmet that covers his entire head, similar to Iron Man. So, yeah. I'm digging what you're shoveling. Gray said Kang needs some real heroes to go up against because Ant-Man ain't it. Facts. All the shrinky dinks versus Kang. Got it. Walter Wilder said, yeah, Brian. Bruh, I was there. I was like 7, but I was there. Trust me. Great. They don't want Regina King to become Mrs. Manhattan. No, they do not want Regina King to become Mrs. Manhattan, but that would be a beautiful thing to see, and I will be there for it. Kang versus the Benchwarmers. That's essentially what. I wonder what Alan Moore thinks about that show. Probably nothing. No, I don't think Alan Moore is studying it. Alan Moore got better things to do than waste his time. I mean, it's respectful. You know what I mean? It's a little bit off the beaten clock. Oh, let's put it like this. If Alan Moore likes Doomsday Clock, he should like Regina King's version of Watchmen. So there. So if you don't like that, you shouldn't like none of the other stuff people took liberties with and banged on your properties. Well, that ain't his property, it's DC's property, but still, y'all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I mean, ultimately, in the end, representation should be genuine. I mean, that's the whole purpose of me being represented. I want to be represented by someone or something that makes me feel comfortable and gives me a sense of pride and makes me say, yes, that should be there. Right off the top of my head, Luke Cage. I don't care if Michael Coulter does or doesn't come back to play the role of Luke Cage, but we need a Luke Cage. Luke Cage was that hero for us because Blaxploitation is the time that Luke Cage came out, and Luke Cage was the poster boy for Blaxploitation in Marvel Comics, like Shang-Chi and Iron Fist were the poster boys for martial arts in Marvel Comics, and all that took place in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? Luke Cage was fanciful and crazy and didn't necessarily look like a hero, but he represented us and he was American because we already had T'Challa and we already had Falcon, and over at DC had John Stewart. But it was something about Luke Cage that appealed to us because John Stewart had an attitude when he first came out, but Luke Cage kept his attitude. He didn't mellow out. He was just like, if it could be said, Luke Cage got grumpier. You know what I mean? Over the years, till he got married and got henpecked and shit. But yeah. Oh, Keita said Power Man. Hi, Keita. These Diesel said, I don't need Mike to come back. I just want Luke Cage. It don't make a difference to me who it is, but I feel that guy is essential. We need him cinematically. Sweet Christmas. Sweet effing Christmas. Maybe that's what Luke Cage should start saying. Gray said we got Brother Voodoo, Cloak, Luke Cage, Blue Marvel, and Misty Knight. Night Thrasher. And Bishop. I'm gonna read that tonight. I'm gonna snuggle up with the comics, man. I'm gonna do my. I'm gonna open up a book. Who hired the mob guy who wanted Pym particles? It never got resolved in the second Ant-Man. The power broker? I don't know. They mentioned him sideways. I think it was in Madripoor somewhere. Yeah, because what wasn't Sharon Carter supposed to be the power broker? That was stupid. Anyway, they could use the black character Triton. I believe his name is who was in the new Avengers run. No, not Triton, Walter. Triathlon. And he later became the new 3D man. He's kind of lame to me. But you know, I mean, it is what it is. Don't give two damns about Hypno Hustler. Rather see Prowler and Cardiac. I did a video on Cardiac. Yeah, I mean, there are a crap Night Thrasher. When they gonna give us Night Thrasher? That name. Night Thrasher. Okay, let's go. You're night thrashing. Let's do that. You're night, or you're on your skateboard. You're night thrashing. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, we need to night. I would love to see Night Thrasher cinematically. I would love to see the New Warriors cinematically. Give me that original lineup. You know, Night Thrasher, Nova, Namorita. You already got Namorita. Oh, well, you got Namora, but it would be a small thing to have a Namorita. Speedball. Shoot, let's throw Rage in there for some more diversity. Why don't we? You know what I'm saying? And then Firestar and Vance Astro, aka Justice, to round that lineup out. And then you could, if you wanted to follow comic book continuity, you could have Firestar and Justice be part of the new Avengers. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you got a ton of possibilities, but you know, folks they don't, you don't read a comic book, so these ideas ain't never gonna come to you. His outfit was the gravy color. Okay. Gravy like the grave? Is Kang a descendant of T'Challa in the MCU? I read that somewhere. I hope not, Kenneth. And welcome. Cold Tiger was happening. D-Real, I think Mike Coulter was ideal for Luke Cage. If we're going to have Mike Coulter come back as Luke Cage, I would like it very much if he worked out and got a little. Go do whatever the hell Jonathan Majors was doing and get ripped like that for a Luke Cage role. Go do that, Mike Coulter. And then you could be my Luke Cage all day. Because you don't have to be saying nothing. All you got to do is be grumpy and let bullets bounce off your forehead. Keita said Blue Marvel. Blue Marvel has been rumored. I do not think they will do Blue Marvel, Keita, for the simple fact that, again, OP. You got the Quantum Universe sitting right here. That will be the perfect segue. You know what I'm saying? To put him in there. He's been in the Quantum Universe since the 50s. His headquarters is in the Quantum Universe. That's where he went when his old uniform came off and people saw he was black and they said they didn't want to end being their hero. So, yeah. But, again, that makes too much sense. That lines too much up with what goes on in the comics, and they got to stray as far away as they can from that. Gravy colors. Gravy like the grave? You still spelled it Gravey. Or should it be, you talking about Gravy? I don't know. I don't forgot what you talking about. Grace said James Gunn better capitalize on Jon Stewart, Jefferson Pierce, Michael Holt, Mari McCabe, Raquel Irvin, Karen Beecher, Virgil Hawkins, and Michael Bland. A lot of, I hear some milestone in there. I hear some milestone in there. Okay. And you know we can't have milestone without my man Arnis. can't have it with it. Can't have no milestone without my man Augustus Freeman. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see a Blood Syndicate movie. That would be dope. If you're gonna do milestone, you better do the Blood Syndicate because you got enough people in there. You know what I'm saying? To where you could do that. That would be great. Oh, damn, it's almost 2 hours. Man, y'all got me out here. Y'all got me out here for almost 2 hours. Out here. You know what I'm saying? That's a testament. It's a testament to how much fun we're having and how much knowledge is being dropped. Because make no mistake, y'all are up in this chat dropping mad, crazy, ridiculous knowledge. And I appreciate it. Some of it I know. Some of it I wasn't 100% sure on. And some of it I was like, I like that y'all know that. So kudos to y'all for being astute. And kudos to y'all for rocking with me. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all rocking with me, even though some of y'all ain't Chiefs fans. I was busting a pose to see what to see what y'all was gonna say. I was waiting for somebody to come in quick. I don't think you should say that. Well, when your team wins the Super Bowl, you can say what you want to say. When your team starts a dynasty, you can say what you want to say. Yes, Kamoyo Kid, I am living in Petticoat Junction. Certainly am. You know you would too. Don't front. Y'all know y'all would. Y'all be like, eagle, fly. Let me stop. I am not going to berate the esteemed competition. I am not going to berate the second best team in the NFL. I'm chill. I'm a chill. We had about was it James Gunn announcing authority, but nothing Wildcat, Stormwatch, Milestone related. Well, you know why. He said, forged in the fires of Mount Petty. I approve. Remember the issue of Luke Cage was kicking ass in Times Square and told a guy, I am tired of playing Sonny Chiba. My favorite Luke Cage story of all time, Walter, was when Luke Cage busted into the Baxter building to get a rocket from Reed Richards to fly to Latveria because Dr. Doom owed him $20. You talk about petty. Luke Cage is petty AF. My man flew from New York to Latveria for $20. Hey, and when he got there, you know what he said to Dr. Doom? He said, where's my money, honey? He said, where's my money? And he gave Dr. Doom a run. You know what I'm saying? Damaged his armor and everything. Boy, you better, he ain't playing out here. Victor, you delinquent with his ends. You better pay this brother. And when Dr. Doom found out that the only reason Luke Cage was there was because he wanted his money, he actually had it on him. Dr. Doom walks around with loose cash, loose American cash. See, comics in the 70s. You'd have never questioned that in 1973. And just like I just took it as, you better give Luke Cage his money, you know. What is a Latvian ruler doing with American money in his pocket? Like, I know he's here. Because you are a crazy black man going to Latveria for $20, D. Steezel. Kamoyo Kid, yes, do need our 7th ring. My banner here is Steelers Gold. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. So petty. Yes, Keita. I am Pettysaurus Rex. Yes. Anyway, yep, Doom said my security said that a crazy black man was coming for me. He did. Y'all gonna make me go read that comic book too. Hero for Hire. Good old Luke Cage. Hero for Hire. Well, y'all, Luke Cage wanting his money is as good a place to round this live out as any. Let me see. I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh or sing a song. See, don't nobody know that except the OGs up in here. Don't nobody know what I'm talking about but them OGs. I want to thank. It sounds like a show too. I want to thank my guests for coming this evening. Theo B of I Ain't Saying, I'm Just Saying. Y'all go check that man's page out. Grand Madam Tarot of Grand Madam Tarot. Y'all go check Sister's page out. My man D. Steezel and Kamoyo Kid always coming in with the quick quips, and y'all will be great in improv, by the way. Diabolical Nerd, respect, bro. Love everything that you do. My man Nico Bean with the steam. Ronnie J in the building up here. Ashura, always on topic and sometimes off topic, but I love it anyway. Ruben Thomas, what's up, bro? Good that you could make it up in this piece. My man Ronnie J. God, there's a lot of y'all off of here tonight. Louis Berry, Jose Gomez, Justin Lawrence, Zoltar the Magnificent, Shavante Shears, Ruben Thomas, my man Gray. Can't forget my man Gray. Can't forget the homie Dre Mack from the Dre Mack Show. Check out his show too. Chiefs Kingdom in the building. And Romeo, thanks for stopping through, homie, man. I love my homie Romeo, man. We always have good combos, man. Professor Film Fan in the building. Appreciate you, G, falling through, dropping a few comments. Walter Wilder, OG in the building. And if there's anybody I have missed, Most Benevolent King. Thank you for coming through. My man Edward Stewart, appreciate you coming through. And I think, Keita, I can't forget you, Keita. Thank you for popping in and calling me petty. It's all good though, because I was petty. I'm sorry. But when your team win the Super Bowl, Ruben Thomas, y'all, I am about to get out of here because it's about to be 2 hours and I already covered all my topics. So this has been a lively live. I appreciate y'all coming in and rocking with me. I really, really, really appreciate y'all coming in and rocking with me. Come back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And until then, y'all be good. Be good to each other. Peace, y'all. Stay up.